All right, welcome to another edition of the Final Percent podcast. We've had the Exponential Women series kind of taken over there for a little bit. They are going to be back, but I'm jumping in here because check this out. It's my birthday week, and we're going into what I think is probably the most pivotal moment of the Final Percent history. This is going to be like if there's a movie, let's say that Steve Jobs kind of thing is happening. If you've seen that movie, this is when the Apple II comes out. This is when people start to realize that maybe there's something special going on with this group. Maybe there's something special going on with the Final Percent, with that community, because we have gone the Final Percent with this event, with each other. The community has rallied together, and I just want to take a little bit of time to talk a little bit about the importance of moving, the importance of events, the importance of taking a chance on yourself, putting the ball in your hands so that you can finally score a touchdown in your life. And this is going to happen if you are willing to move, if you are willing to show up, if you're willing to participate, if you're willing to engage. So many people are sitting on the sidelines, but I can tell you, the events that I've been to have absolutely changed my life. The events that I have done have absolutely changed my life. The events that I've been a part of have absolutely changed my life. And I just want to reach out to everybody and say, look, if you're listening to this podcast, I hope to see, we have a VIP dinner if you're interested in that on the 17th with Dave Meltzer. Sharon Lecter will be there. Dan Fleischman will be there. If you're interested in coming to that, we'd love to see it. My birthday is on the 18th. I'm going to be 40 years old. And I could not be more proud of what my team has accomplished and quite frankly, what I've accomplished in this last year. I've transformed my health. I've transformed the business, and it's all about focus, and it's about moving. It's about taking action. And I want to share that experience with you because I think it was April 8th in Dallas. We were originally going to watch the eclipse because for anybody who doesn't know, the Final Percent has a great story surrounding a totality. That's where our events, the totality, come from. And so I just want to invite you and remind you that focused effort, consistent daily actions really change everything. And I remember when we have our infinity model, the personal, if you're watching this on YouTube, personal comes down to professional, vitality, and community. There's the 4 pillars of life, and we put them into an event. So we start out, everything's purple, and we're looking at the mindset and everything. We go down to professional, we come up to vitality, and the morning is all about mindset. We go to lunch, you come back, the room is transformed. That kinesthetic feel, the visual feel has changed into red, so it's all professional. Then the next morning, it's green for vitality. And then in the evening, we end with community. And we had to switch from Oklahoma to Dallas last minute. And we had this idea to run the event like this. And we just kind of threw it together with just random stuff that we had laying around, like the random lights, the random this. But the event was special. Looking at where we've come from April 8th to now April 18th, 1 year later, if you looked at the pictures, you side by side, you would think it's a different company, it's a different event, and there's no way it's the same company. You don't accomplish that in 1 year. But I'm here to tell you consistent daily actions. I'm here to tell you that the right community, I'm here to tell you that the right mindset, that not quitting, that moving yourself forward, you can change so much in 1 year. You can transform your, for anyone who's watched the movie A Knight's Tale, I'm telling you right now that you can change your stars. You can change your family's stars. You have these stars that you were born under, and a lot of people think that that's just how it is. You can change that. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're helping people do. That's what we're equipping people to do. And I really invite you to, and if, let's say, obviously this is coming out, I think, we're April 15th right now. I think it's a Tuesday. So this podcast is going to come out on Wednesday. And the problem with that is, Greg, I'm listening to this podcast, the event's already over, or I can't make it. You have to still move. I'm not saying that the Final Percent is the only vehicle. I would love to have you come experience what we're doing, but we're not the only vehicle, and we're going to have more events. I'm just here to stress to you the importance of taking action. You have to start somewhere. It's like the Confucius saying, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. Second best time is right now. What are you planting? What are you doing today with your micro efforts to the macro goal? Do you have a macro goal? We talk a little bit about tactics versus strategic. Like what's your strategy? Now, your strategy is your long-term plan, and your tactics are your short-term action. If you had a short-term action to engage with a community, if you had a short-term action to read a book, if you had a short-term action to find a mentor, you had a short-term action to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with the right people that clap when you win, you're going to absolutely change your life. I have had the privilege of building many businesses. Some worked, some didn't. I built friendships. Some worked, some didn't. I built business relationships. Some worked, some didn't. The moral of the story is I kept going. And it's funny because in the moment you go, yeah, you know what? I wish that wouldn't happen to me. Or maybe you have the heartache, like I'm on my second marriage. I had a first marriage. It didn't work out. Do I have any animosity towards my ex-wife? No. Do I have any animosity towards my ex-business partners? No. Because I'm focused on moving forward. I'm focused on equipping. I'm focused on taking my life to the next level. And I don't want to spend any time dwelling in the past. I want to reflect on all the good times. I really want to stay in a state of reflection and go, wow, this is where I learned. This is how I could have been better. Man, this is something that person taught me that now I know when this is happening, how to recognize it. Experience takes movement. You have to, we're talking about, I just got onto this arena tours. You have to get into the arena. A lot of people stay up in the stands and they're going to criticize you. But you got to get into the arena. Are you in the arena of your life? And that's the biggest thing is I run to the arena. I run to see what is possible. I run to try things out. I try to be as innovative as possible. And I found a group of people that rally around me and with me to where we try to get as innovative as possible in the personal growth space, because our mandate, our mission is to put personal growth into the hands of everyone on planet Earth. No, I didn't say put the final percent into the hands of everyone, because I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. I know that. But I do want to be an example of how powerful personal growth is. I do want to be an example of the possibility. I do want to be an example of change. I do want to be an example of taking a step forward, an example of how to get yourself out of the mud, an example of what happens when you believe at an uncommon level. Now, remember, if you're going to be exceptional, that means you are the exception, not the rule. Now, I believe going into this event that my team is truly exceptional. I believe that our content is truly exceptional. And I believe that the results that we are going to get for and with people is truly exceptional. But it's only for the people who move and show up and, most importantly, participate. And I use that word very, very directly, very, very purposely, just to be very clear, because a lot of people say contribute. Contribute to the event, contribute to the community, contribute. It sounds like you're kind of asking for a donation. It sounds like you're, ringing a bell on the side of the street. It sounds like, it's a very transactional thing. But if you participate, you're a part of something. And that's the biggest thing is, are you participating in your life, or are you waiting on someone to tell you who you are? Are you waiting on someone to tell you it's going to be okay? Because if you need that, then I'll just tell you right now, it's going to be okay if you participate. And I'm not saying participate in what I'm doing. I'm saying you need to participate in your life. You need to participate in your marriage. You need to participate in your business. You need to do the work. You need to participate in your fitness. A lot of people say, how do I lose the weight? How do I get this done? How do I get that done? Check this out. You stopped participating somewhere along the lines, and that's why you got a little overweight. You started participating a little too much in Doritos. You stopped participating, like for all of you who hate your job, you don't like your job, you're mad at your job. Well, they're paying you to do a job, and if all you do is complain about your job, you're not doing your job. Do things with the best attitude you possibly can. I love what Jim Rohn says. He says, work full-time on your job and part-time on your fortune. When you really believe and know that you are destined for something far greater, you are able to have a wonderful attitude. I remember when I was a waiter, I knew that there was this sense inside of me. There was something inside of me. There was this piece of me that wanted out into the world, and I knew that it was coming. I knew that I was developing it. I just know that I'm going to be able to go to another level that is uncommon, rare, and magical. So I was the best waiter that these places had ever seen. I got the most tips because I did it with a great attitude. Now, did I like being a waiter? No. I don't think anyone actually wants to be a professional waiter in their life. But if I was a waiter that just complained about being a waiter, I'm not going to transcend that job. I'm going to shackle myself to where I'm at. Negativity really shackles you to wherever you are currently. And the best way to change that is to get yourself in motion, is to get yourself to move forward, is to get yourself to take a chance on yourself. Now, what does that mean? That means to go to an event, to find a community. Now, if you're listening to this after our event, that again, I think is the most pivotal event that we have done, I want you to join our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is the Final Percent Network. If you're listening to this, I want you to join that Facebook group. Just engage with the community. Don't just be the fly on the wall. If you come to the dance. Find our next event, sign up for it. The other thing that we have is we have the TFP Connect app on both Android and iOS. I want you to download that. It's a way to really stay in connection with the community. We've got courses on there, but most importantly, our community on there. We have the best community on planet Earth. Am I biased? 100%. I'm gonna call it like it is. I am biased about this community, but this community has saved me multiple times. This is not a guru model. This is a community that loves model, a community that shows up model. This is a foxhole people model. If you don't know what that means, David Goggins talks a lot about how you have to have the people who would get into a foxhole with you. Do you have those people in your life? Because if you don't, I think we might be the community for you. Because we're people that show up at an exceptional level. We are the exception. Now, let's talk a little bit about this event that's coming up. You're going to see a lot of content videos from it, but we are a very exceptional group because we travel with all of our own stuff. We don't rent anything because we want to go on tour and we want to deliver a very exceptional experience. So we have all of our own lights. We have all of our own AV. We have our own video wall. We have our own sound. We have our own trussing because we want to be able to deliver you an experience that is exceptional. You are already exceptional right now. As you sit here, as you listen or watch this, you are an exceptional person that maybe just needs to get into a community or into an environment to let your exceptional self grow. You have to unlock that part of you and you have to have permission to fly a little higher, because every time in these other communities you tried to be exceptional, what's happened? People say, well, man, you're acting kind of weird. What are you doing? Don't do that. Don't try that. I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. When you start telling people, hey, I want to start schools. Craig, what are you doing? Hey, I think I can be a speaker. I think I can help people. Dude, you're gonna be like Tony Robbins. That's what people say. Yeah, I am. And I know that. I know that I can change the world. I know that I am changing the world at my own level, not Tony Robbins' level. I can be bigger or smaller than him. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do the best that I can do. But somewhere along the line, you have tried to be exceptional, and the world has said, hey, not right now. Don't do that. You can't do that. What are you doing? I'm here to tell you that we need you to be exceptional. I need you to take action on your life. And you need to get into an environment where it's okay to be exceptional. It's okay to play full out. It's like, guys, you're not going to get out of this world alive. I love this phrase. Are you living a life worth dying for? Are you living a life worth dying for? Because that's what you're going to do someday. You die for this life you're living. Make it count. Make it worth it. Play full out. Go the final percent for you, for your family, for your marriage. Go the final percent. And if you don't know what the final percent is, it's simply this. I was trying to figure out whether or not I wanted to be I wanted to be a speaker, but I was trying to figure out what the heck would I talk about? Like, everything just felt like regurgitated stuff, right? You know, I don't want to read a Tony Robbins book and then just repackage Tony Robbins. Like, I want my own stuff. And I went to watch in August 2017. I went to watch the eclipse, and and I'm talking about a totality. So you have to move. I had to drive to Casper, Wyoming. It takes about 2 hours from start to finish. And I remember sitting there, and I'm impatient as all get out. And I'm saying, I thought this was going to be like a little bit more magnificent. I thought it was going to be a little more cool. You know what I mean? And I kept trying to sneak a peek of it happening. So I have like the little glasses, and I'm like trying to take them off. And every time I take them off, well, it turns out NASA says don't look at the sun. They're not kidding. And with 1% of the sun showing, just to put it into perspective, 1% of the sun showing is the equivalent of 10,000 full moons. So you can't look at it. I mean, have you ever had that super bright full moon and you look at it and you're like, whoa, that's pretty bright. Now imagine 10,000 times brighter. So even with 1% of the sun showing, it is brighter than 10,000 full moons. So I still couldn't see it, but when the totality happened, I was able to take off my glasses, and I'm looking up to this floating orb in the sky. It looked like it was 9 o'clock at night on a summer's night, but it was like the sun had just set everywhere, like 360 degrees around me. But I didn't quite get it then, because I came back to Denver, and I was like, man, I just had this celestial experience of a lifetime, and I didn't quite understand. And I went and I looked at people, and I'm trying to explain, and I said, did you see the totality? Yeah, it was so good. I'm like, oh, so you went to, because Denver only had 98, 99% coverage. And so I went and I'm talking to people, and they said, yeah, I saw it. And I said, oh, you went to Casper to see it? No. We had 99% coverage, and that's good enough. And it was at that moment I realized that the difference between that 1% difference was the difference between night and day. That 1% difference was an exponential shift. And it was at that moment that I asked myself, I realized, what if I went the final percent in my marriage? Does it have that same exponential shift? The final percent in my learning, the final percent in my speaking, the final percent in my friendship? Is there another exponential shift available to me if I truly give my final percent, my 100% devotion and commitment to something? And the answer is yes. Now, if you want a very succinct way to put this and understand what I'm trying to say is, if we are taught that 90% is an A minus, 95% is an A, 98% is an A plus, why would we go to the final percent? Well, ask your spouse if you get an A plus for being 98% faithful. My guess is they're going to say no. That 2% makes all the difference in the world. I want you to be 100% faithful to yourself, 100% faithful to your dreams, 100% faithful to what is possible for you. I want you to be 100% faithful to the exceptional part of you. Stop conforming, stop norming, and start going after what is possible for you. But you got to get into an environment. You got to be willing to move. I had to drive to Casper, and then the traffic coming out of Casper, I mean, it's supposed to be, I think, a 4-hour drive or something. I mean, it took us like 16 hours to get home. It was worth it. Changed my life. You got to be willing to move. So I'm asking you, come to this event. If you can't come to this event or you listen to it after, join our Facebook group. Dive in. Get on the app. Come to one of our events that are coming to a city near you. I want to change your life. And I'm telling you, if you give me that opportunity, if you give the final percent the opportunity to be that environment for you, I promise you, you're going to change my life too. This isn't a me thing. This is a we thing. And the more people we have showing people as an example of what the power of personal growth can be, the bigger impact we can make. And I want you to be a part of that impact. So I know that this is supposed to be a podcast, but I also wanted to let people know how important it is to take action and move. I wanted to let people know about the final percent. And I wanted to let people know about the importance of events and making those connections and the new friends and the environment that you're in. If you don't move, you're going to stay in the environment and you're going to stay the same. In 5 years, you're going to arrive. The question is where? In 5 years, you're going to arrive. And if you keep doing what you're doing, it's going to be a little better or a little worse than it is right now. But if you get a strategy, you make that plan, and you get tactical, and you start taking those actions, and you get into an environment that is equipping you, that's empowering you, that claps when you win, you are going to be astonished at who you can become and where you can go in 5 years. And I hope to be a part of your journey. I hope that the final percent is a great environment for you. And if we are not for you, because man, we play full out, we're intense, give personal growth a chance. Start reading books, get an Audible subscription. But I'm telling you right now, personal growth can and will change your life in all of the 4 areas, which is personal, business, vitality, and community. Thank you so much for listening to the Final Percent podcast. And I am so excited to turn 40 on April 18th and have what I think is going to be the ignition of the rocket's engines. And this vehicle called the Final Percent is finally going to take off. This has been the Final Percent podcast with Greg Kimble. Thank you so much.